The New York Jets, a team that is actually really good in Madden. However, in real life, they are the New York Jets, a team that this season is beginning already losing their hopes with injuries, sadly enough. Obviously, you know I love Mekhi Becton because I love me some big boys that can run. I love it. It's just so fun to see. And even though maybe he had a down year last year, his rookie year showed so much promise that, you know what, I really wanted to see him, and unfortunately has a season-ending injury, and it's so weird to see the talks about, like, oh, we still love Mekhi Becton, we still believe in him. It's like, I sure hope you do. You spent a pretty good draft pick on him, and he's still on a rookie deal. We shouldn't be talking about this stuff until, like, his final year or a fifth-year option year. This isn't the time to talk about that. And then, of course, they lose Zach Wilson. However, my man, the MILF Hunter, is so freaking strong that if I'm not mistaken, it's actually not even a season-ending injury like 99.9% of us thought it was going to be. With our decision to not start Wilson, I think we'll bring him back in week 5 because it said 2 to 4 weeks. I don't know if that's 2 to 4 weeks as of the injury or if they mean 2 to 4 weeks of the regular season. Just to be safe, week 5, especially since I imagine we're going to suck out the gate anyways, and they're not going to want to rush Zach Wilson out there if the season's already looking like, well, a New York Jets season. Of course, Breece Hall, tons of talent, but I thought maybe they would have just rocked it out with Michael Carter. I suppose just like the Seahawks, you feel like you have a solid talent in the draft. You take them no matter what your current situation is like. If you look at, you have... Okay, I was going to say if you have Justin Herbert and you see a quarterback that you think is the next Tom Brady, you take him. It's like, well, unless it's like round 4 or later, probably not actually. But Breece Hall in-game specifically is much better, so shout out to the Jets. Of course, wide receivers, one of the worst wide receiver units to a very high potential one, especially once again when we're talking about Madden. Joe Flacco is a capable starter, but man, it's kind of sad seeing him fall this far to, like, one of the greatest playoff runs ever to backup of the Jets. Like, that is just an L. I'm sorry. Really didn't talk about the O-line too much, but not a bad unit, actually. It's not a terrible unit at all. It's not a great unit either, but, like, it is kind of like a below-average unit, but it definitely could be worse, right? It could be like the Texans. They got some savvy vets in there. I moved Franklin Myers to DT, which is a little maybe unrealistic just because he actually had a really good season as an edge last year. I'm going to play him at DT, though, just because we have so much edge talent with Carl Lawson, who finally is going to play, and then Jermaine Johnson, who is a steal. Once again, I think most of us would say this was probably the best draft on paper of any team in the league. Sauce Gardner is going to be our number 1 with Bryce Hall number 2. Maybe it should be interchanged. It really doesn't matter because by like week 9, Sauce is going to be a higher overall anyways. And ironically enough, you have the 2 normal DBs on this team that are probably the 2 best. They're probably the 2 best DBs on this team, Jordan Whitehead and DJ Reed, super underrated players. And ironically enough, both of them are normal, whereas Ashton Davis is somehow star development trait. He's decent in coverage, but like, really? Over Whitehead and DJ Reed? I don't think so. Of course, linebackers, it's in shambles. Mosley, I don't even think he's that good anymore. Still being paid a ton. Nisraldeen, might as well start him because he's young and has better coverage than Quincy anyways. And then Williams is going to be our like anchor DT, where the verdict isn't still out on him yet, but it's still like, is he going to be a superstar? I don't know. Ooh, improved rookie. We took Elijah Vera-Tucker in the first round. Yes, we did. I suppose pass blocking? I guess. Maybe not for this season, but for the future seasons. Power block. And we also didn't really talk about Zach Wilson, but I can't really judge Zach Wilson because he's playing quarterback for the New York Jets. I'm sorry, Jets fans, all right? Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're not a Jets fan, you could still do those things. Maybe you're like, I don't know, a Giants fan, and you're like battle of the trash can New York teams, even though there's like a billion of them anyways. It's always fun seeing a set. Yeah, okay, cool. It's always fun. Yep, sure. Thank you, Lakin. You're a pretty dependable, offensive lineman. So we'll take your advice. Jermaine Johnson has a camp standout, and he will get a +3 to power move and finesse. Jacob Martin, the 26-year-old star dev D-end, is getting offers. I don't really like those offers. Hey, 4,500 XP, Lakin, you damn legend. I could kiss that guy, you know that? I would. Where is he? But hey, if you're a Jets fan and you're watching this, there's at least one great thing that you guys have, and that is that you won that Jamal Adams trade by a landslide. It really isn't even close. And Seahawks fans, you won a Super Bowl kinda recently. That's pretty cool. And Jermaine Johnson doesn't get his standout. Damn it. I still can't believe how lazy the face scans are. It's so crazy. I mean, there are no face scans, should I say. Like, I know it's really bad on 2K. Maybe it's improved since the last time I've played, but they should probably just develop something like that the rookies can just try at home, and it's better than nothing. But knowing EA, they'd actually, like, take a submitted one. Like, if I was a rookie, I would troll them and submit, like, a trash one, because you know they're probably way too lazy to actually check them, and then their in-game face is some alien monster. That'd be the ultimate troll. That's an L, dude. Hamza Nisruddin could have gotten a dev up, and I've never seen him develop in-game, and he sold. There's a couple of other offers for Jacob Martin, and they are a little better. Like, Van Jefferson's not bad. I think Phillips might even be star, but he is like a 7 mil dead hit. We're actually not the best off for money, so we're going to just hold on to him, I think. Hey, one of the guys you talked about being underrated, Jordan Whitehead, start development rate and 20k XP, which is huge. I don't know what the contract was for him, but now I'm starting to hope that it was something long-term, because I don't want to pay him extra now because all of a sudden he's star and 80 overall. He's also like 20... No, he's 25. Okay. That's a win, because I thought he was 26. 25 is significantly lower. I know it only is 1 to you, but to me, that's an eternity. Well, wait a minute. Not only did we just beat the Bills, we just got Elijah Moore to superstar. I've got to see this one. Of course, he's our slot wide receiver. He's playing number 3. I mean, I don't even know how he did this. This is kind of nuts. Win by 7. Maybe he didn't do it. He did! 161 yards. What a guy. That's impressive. That's huge. Words I've never heard when I took my clothes off. Also, let me know what you guys think, especially since most of the creators creating draft classes are probably very far away from being done with their actual classes that they're making. Do you guys think we should rock a CPU, class, one of the regular classes, when we don't need a QB? That's the way I've kind of just always done it, because I feel like it gets really repetitive if, we're using that class for a team that needs QB and there's a bunch of them still. And, if we're doing it for we're going to see all the same names anyways. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel better. Oh, wow, an F catch? Can I really even like that? I just feel better doing these. It's more fun, in my opinion, as well, where it's just like random names, Wow, we just got killed by the Bears. All of our free agents are pretty much like backup level talent. Of course, George Fant is quote-unquote a starting level talent, but we're hoping to have Mekhi Becton back next season. I offered him a 2-year, $15 million deal at his talent level, and he said no. That's a bit harsh, but see ya. There's one thing you cannot underestimate, and that is a team going for a top 5 pick, ruining it by having a run near the end of the season. A 7-3 win over the Dolphins. Nice. They might have made the playoffs. We had no chance at it, but you know what we did? We got ourselves in the middle of the draft. Instead of having a top 5 pick, middle of the draft, baby. That is unfortunate. Of course, we went 8-9. You already know that if we're not going to make the playoffs, I do not want to win any games. Zach Wilson was decent. Joe Flacco was also decent, but he wasn't like so good he had to stay the starter. And it kind of turned out to be, pretty much the same anyways with Zach. Of course, Breece Hall was okay as a rookie. It's tough behind a line that's not great. Corey Davis was pretty decent. Garrett Wilson was pretty decent. Elijah Moore was pretty decent. Uzama, I don't even know which one it's said. Not bad. O-line, Fant, and Dwayne Brown were pretty bad, specifically Dwayne Brown. Sack totals 9 for Quentin, 8.5 for Carl Lawson, 5 for Nisruddin. Jermaine Johnson with 4.5. John Franklin Myers at DT got 4.5 as well. Nisruddin, if he would have actually gotten that dev up, he may be even a superstar this year, but instead, he's not. Of course, looking at the rest of the stats, nothing too insane. Rookie awards, maybe. I'm not really thinking, what would we have actually won? I can't really think of anything. Breece Hall, it was an okay year. Jermaine Johnson, I'm just starting to think they just give it to any user. Like, if you got user rookies, you're going to win the award, which I suppose is 2 dev-ups with this year's Madden, but that's beside the point, as we are going on to pretty much the offseason for year 2, because we had a wasted season. Although 8-9 for the Jets is a dub, but did we ever really feel like we had a chance? Probably not. Packers-Broncos long-time rematch. And as a real-life Packers fan, I would cry. Let's take a look at the dev-ups, though. I once again think running back and D-line, Elijah Moore was already a superstar. I think Corey Davis kind of earned his role as the number 3 wide receiver. No other dev-ups on offense, with Jermaine Johnson, of course, going up in dev, and Quentin Williams. Really, really dumb, though, to see Nizruddin. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, I was going to force Nizruddin's dev, but he actually did dev up. It's just Quincy was higher than him somehow. Ashton Davis really didn't go up in overall, but Joyner's just... I don't know if he plays really well in real life, but in-game, he is just not good. Even when he was at super high overall for the Rams, he was just so unathletic, and he's tiny. It's just like, how does it, it doesn't really work out. DJ Reed, get back to your freaking 3rd spot. And then, of course, Jermaine Johnson, like we said, superstar, probably undeserved, but he won the award. I'm not going to take it away. Superstar dev, and yeah, that's the first season of the Jets. Not the worst, though. Definitely not the worst, and of course, we're returning Mekhi Becton as a starter, who I honestly did not know he's playing right tackle, or is that an EA thing? 1 year, a 2-year 7? Please, Javelin. I mean, me and the mans, we've been through a lot. Like, we've just been through so much together that, like, what can you do, it's just, you can't separate us. If you try, I mean, I'll punch you in the nose. So we have 42 mil, and we're actually in a pretty good spot as a team. I think the positions we absolutely need are center and tackle, and then a linebacker would not hurt. Elgton Jenkins, like I've said millions of times now, is a guy that I would actually expect to be a free agent at some point, because I just don't think Green Bay can pay the man, considering how often he switched around the offensive line. Like, his value is almost, priceless for Green Bay. Nobody's offering him any money. I think a 4-year, 80 is worth it for a guy of his caliber. I think he's solid. He's earned it. And then Eric McCoy is interesting, but I don't really want to pay a whole lot for a center. I think we might just draft one, to be honest. Ooh, Dawson Knox, but the Bills love him. All right, so there's that left trigger or left analog stick click in evaluate offers, which I imagine allows us to skip this. So I will try this. Players have evaluated submitted offers. Oh, we got all 3. So Evans was a question mark for me. I feel like we may... Our cap room's gone. Our cap room's gone. Okay, we'll see what kind of money we have anyways. But Rashaan Evans was a little bit of a debate for me. I gave him a 4-year 34, but that's kind of what he was asking for. And I know how the game works. He would not have taken less, and he is developable. Dawson Knox is a 4-year 65. He is absolutely worth it in game. Real life, probably not. And then Elgton Jenkins is a 4-year 80, which honestly, for real life, is actually an underpay for sure, especially in the open market. And honestly, with that contract to Rashaan Evans, I'm actually going to straight up just release CJ Mosley. Maybe we would have got like a 6th round or something in real life, but that's not really a whole lot anyways. So we have pick 12 in the draft, and I have all late 1st round guys, because I actually thought we were going to be later than this. That's why it's important to know your picks, kids. But I'm going to trade this down to like something around 20 if I can. Philadelphia has given me 82 and 114 to move down to 18. That's a win. Tony Ross, I think, is going to be the guy I take a chance on. He's 6'3", 278, very athletic. He has that potential to play 2 ways, play either DN, well, not 2 ways, but you know what I mean, DN or DT. This team could need a DN in the future, as, of course, Carl Lawson needs a contract. He was decent for us, but he might be expensive. I'm going to take Tony Ross, and I'm going to wish we could go back about 10 seconds. We're going to give a 5th round to the Steelers to move up 4 spots in the high 2nd, which I was going to use on this linebacker, but I'm actually not sure anymore, because that center looks great. We also do have Brian Rivers here as an A to B zone coverage, and he's also pretty much just as fast, maybe even better with the excel and the agility. I'm going to go Clint Miller, the center. D run block, but everything else looks decent, and he is hidden. We trade 82 and 108 to move up to 65 with the Texans. That 3rd round pick, 82, was the trade down with the Eagles. We still have pick 12, which is pretty cool. And with this pick, we are going to be grabbing the linebacker Brian Rivers, A to B zone. This guy looks like one of those prototypical, at least athletic, good players. and also hidden. I also have a guard here, Brian Carr, and he looks decent, but his run block is really bad. Like, so many A's, but that run block, the run block finesse, the run block power, it is pretty trash. But I'm still going to take the chance, and we're still going to get a hidden dev good player. Well, maybe not good, but hidden is pretty much good automatically. And the speed demon Dukes is still there, so is some of the other fast wide receivers, but day 3 could literally be any time, so we're going to grab him. Michael Dukes, and he is fast. 96 speed, 96 excel. I mean, if we consider Elijah Moore our wide receiver 2, could we not rock this kind of small but still talented wide receiver room without Corey Davis? And we're going to grab this kicker Foreman in the 6th round, maybe a little early, but good kick power with C accuracy is good enough. And 92 kick power. Dexter Johnson, the young fullback, welcome to the squad. Normal dev, slow, but 21, 6'2", 250 with 80 strength. Could be decent. But here we are, the draft recap. Let's see how well we did. 75 overall for Ross, who was normal. Miller was 74 hidden. Hidden for Rivers, who was 69. Hidden left guard, 76. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it. I was thinking, oh, we're set, because I was thinking of Laken Tomlinson, but he's actually old. So we have, like, a future replacement there, unless Laken can get, be getting rid of, we can get rid of him now, because he is really expensive, in fairness. Dukes, 72 overall, 68, 68. I want to take a look at Dukes real quick. How good is this speedster? Decent release, actually. Short route's okay. Medium sucks. Deep is great. Catching's raw, but he's good with speed. Injury's really bad, but he's the +4 because of our coaching stuff. Fair enough. Let's take a look at Tony Ross, see how good he was, because he was normal, but he's a high overall. Yeah, he's not terrible. 70 block shed, 78 power move, 90 strength, has a lot of pass rush traits. I don't know if I would get rid of him for Carl Lawson. If Carl Lawson's age and contract is just not worth it, then we could just let him go. Clint Miller, of course, terrible run blocker, like we expected. Brian Rivers, automatic starter, I would imagine, at probably right out, actually. Not terrible, actually. Block shed is okay, and then the coverage is decent for a rookie. What else did we have? The left guard, who is the best player of the draft for us. Don't know. We should have actually looked at the devs. Also a bad run blocker. Should look at the devs, actually, real quick. Star for Carr. Yep, that's just, it had to happen. Rivers, I'd honestly say maybe all 3 would be star. Maybe the center superstar if we're really, really lucky, but I can't imagine it. He is also star, as expected. And then the center, what is he like? I also had a linebacker I want to take a look at. There might have been 2 guys, I don't remember, but Burrell was the guy I wanted, and also star. Burrell, whatever. Hidden development trait. Worse in coverage, but better block shed. Also a little more athletic than our guy, but we did get our guy in like the start of the 3rd. This guy would have been mid-2nd, and he's also star anyway. So we did a pretty good job. The right end may never be used, but outside of that, not a bad draft. Also added those 5ths for next year, aka this year. This is exactly the type of trade the Patriots will make. I don't care if it's interdivisional. It's Corey Davis, who has played well for us, but we kind of just can't afford him. Like, they can barely afford him. We just can't afford him. We're not going to re-sign him, which I'd imagine needs a contract even, like, now. And it helps us out a ton. And we also have that super fast rookie that we want to use. So, all is well. All right, the year 2 team, looking improved. Not by a whole lot, though. Zach Wilson's probably like 24 by now. Jesus. Maybe we should have used that real class. Crap, a damn quarterback. But, of course, the wide receivers, it's looking worse. But we have better long-term options here. Of course, we also added Dawson Knox, who is a huge target if you need that target. 6'4", 257 with some speed. He's very talented, worth every penny in my opinion. Ellen Jenkins playing left tackle. Maybe could have put Mackay back there, but we're just going to keep it the way it is now. The whole offensive line, after Laken Tomlinson is gone, will be set for the rest of this, assuming we can afford them. Defensively, linebackers, maybe Nizrilladine gets replaced, but I think for now it looks great. Safeties, maybe both replaced. Probably Ashton Davis this season, though. He has potential, but it's kind of running up. He's 26. He's a 76 overall. I can't imagine he's going to go up much higher than that. Whereas Whitehead, he's also 26, but he's an 81 overall and has potential, a big hitter as well. So we'll see. He needs to be re-signed. I'd imagine it's going to be cheaper than his real-life contract. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad team. We got a lot of youth, a lot of decent devs, and a bit of potential. I'm hoping we can get to 500 or better this season, and it would be considered a win even if we miss the playoffs, in my opinion. Another 4,500K, 4,500K. Oh, hey, I'll take it. 4,500 XP for AVT. After a 2-0 start, we have kind of gone through the toilets ever since. Carl Lawson, like we were talking about, a 3-53 might be obtainable, but I want to take care of the guys that we absolutely want to keep first. Guys like, obviously, Mekhi Becton, Quentin Williams, Bryce Hall, probably Whitehead, especially for the money he's asking for. I do worry, though, with Whitehead and Bryce Hall, their interest to re-sign is low. Very low, but everyone else, I think we'll be fine with. Ashton Davis, I'm not going to fight for you, buddy. If your interest is low, your interest is low. We gave Quentin Williams a 5-year 85. We gave Mekhi Becton a 7-year 75, which is very team-friendly, but at the same time, a guy that, has had some issues lately, and he's set financially for life. It's not a terrible contract, but it's definitely in favor of us. We gave Bryce Hall a 5-year 50. He was also one of those guys that was low interest in re-signing. Whitehead, I started off with a 4-year 25. I'm going to move that up to a 4-year 30, and he's going to go to free agency. That's a little bit of an L from us. Not going to lie, but what can you do? Ashton Davis might be looking to get a contract. I'm not going to pay him anything crazy, though. 2-year 10 might be my very max. Oh, Braden Mann, let's offer him a deal. We ended up actually signing Carl Lawson for a 3-year, $55 million deal. He has a 5-sack season. We're only halfway through the season. I mean, I think he's good enough. Yeah, we got Ashton Davis back on that 2-year, $10 million deal. We needed a safety bad because Jordan Whitehead, who I preferred, is gone. Headed to the playoffs, we are absolutely not in them, but nope. I was about to say another 8-9 season. Nope, 7-10. Worse than before. I ran the Packers playbook because last year's season didn't work out. I figured Zach Wilson, kind of Rodgers-like, right? The arm, the speed. It's pretty much very similar, of course, like a poor man's Rodgers. But we had 3 straight losses after 3 straight wins. There was a chance, but that chance went out the window because the Jets have jetsed it again. Can't tell if we're heading in the right direction or not. Zach Wilson, touchdown to pick ratio is solid. Yards and touchdowns are low, though. Bryce Hall, I called it wrong. Breece Hall. Hopefully I haven't called him Bryce Hall more than once. I know the difference between the corner and the running back, but 5.0 yards per carry, not bad. Garrett Wilson, really good year. Elijah Moore, solid year. Knox, bad year. Dukes, really bad year. Blocking, awful. Glad we paid that Elton Jenkins 20 per. Sack totals, 10 for Lawson. Could go to Superstar, which would be clutch because we have him on a 3-year 55. Williams, 9, not bad. We signed him long-term as well. John Franklin Myers, 7.5. 3.5 for Jermaine Johnson. That's a bit of an L. Not going to lie. Picks, really bad. Kicking, not great. Punting, not great. And I think even the punter is going to go to free agency. Man, the team is, you start out with a decent slate, and that slate is falling off the plate. I don't know what that means. But Jacoby Brissett for the Buccaneers showing how easy it is to play quarterback for that team. Of course, 8-9 MVP. It's kind of crazy. But looking at awards, I don't think we would have had any. I mean, like, what would he have? Wide receiver, not enough touchdowns. O-line, giving up too many sacks. D-line, not enough pressure. Linebacker, not enough tackles. DBs, not enough picks. Kicker, terrible. I don't even know if we were on the list for the awards, let alone, winning one. I don't know. Like, I have the regression for devs off, but I'm pretty sure they're still broken to where you lose devs anyways. Which, of course, if that's true, we're probably going to lose a few. The Bengals get their Super Bowl win after all over the Eagles. Let's take a look. Dev ups, forget dev ups. Just hope we don't get any dev downs at this rate. Defensively, Williams is now an X factor, and no other dev ups besides Williams, sadly. Not even Lawson. Hey, we got Braden Mann last second on a 4-year 10. Now, I will say, didn't play super well, but 2.5 per is not bad for a punter with a good, strong leg and decent accuracy. It was a little surprising, though, to see him be dropped to normal dev when there's so many players in the game that still have that kind of like legacy star development trait that they shouldn't have. So we can save about $9 million releasing Laken Tomlinson, but he is a decent player, and I think we could probably get a 4th-round pick off of even him at his age. Maybe not a 4th, like a 5th-round pick off of him probably, because because we just don't need him. We have Carr, who's only 3 overalls less, and he's obviously higher potential. We need a strong safety. We could use a linebacker, and we could trade a left guard named Laken Tomlinson. The Jaguars don't even have a left guard, let alone a good one, so a 5th-round pick for Laken Tomlinson seems fair to me. Of course, as usual, tons of big-ticket, high-name guys that I don't expect to sign because it just wouldn't be realistic. Savage, another guy that, once again, Green Bay could be too broke to afford. Really, really want Whitehead back, but I just don't know. Well, nobody wants him, in fairness. If he wants to rejoin, I know he was kind of a meanie, but if he wants to rejoin on that 3-year 25 that I initially offered, I will take him back if he's happy. I want him back. His interest level is like nothing, but if you're not getting offers, like what do you want from me, you know? Jeremy Chin, of course, low offer, doesn't want to join us. Historic champion. So, like, it is kind of BS, because, like, you're trying to rebuild teams. I get it, right? Like, you know, motivations matter, but I think it should change drastically if you're offering a ton of money, because the number one motivator in the league is hands down cash. It's the number one motivator in the world, you know, on average. So if Jeremy Chin's going to be offered $20 mil per to join us, he's taking that over, you know, someone close to home, you know, with a championship record if they're only offering 11 per, you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know how much it factors in the game. I haven't actually really tested it too much, but it does seem like with the contracts we've offered and not won, that it is a little too much motivation focused over cash. Jordan Brooks, it just sucks because he literally is like one of the only players that wants to join our team in all of free agency. He has no offers, and we could literally pay him a 4-year $40. He would be perfect. I mean, the Seahawks are bad at managing their team lately. I'm gonna do it. It's not the biggest name, but I would absolutely expect the Seahawks to keep Jordan Brooks. Not gonna lie, but it's not the biggest unrealistic move ever, right? Like Trayvon Diggs, that's a very realistic signing. Like he very well could be a free agent, but meh. We're going to do that. Not that. We're going to do our evaluation thing, see what we get. And both of them signed. A 3-year 25 for Whitehead, a 4-year 42 for Jordan Brooks, which probably should have been a little bit higher, but nobody wanted him apparently. Zach Wilson, I think it is the perfect guy to go with the 5th-year option for, because honestly, I don't know if he's the guy long-term. I'm not 100% sure. And then with that comes Elijah Vera Tucker. He's like a mid-tier guy, so I would probably sign him for cheaper than the tag is worth or the 5th-year option's worth. Why would the Saints give us Marcus May for Tyler Conklin? Oh, I didn't really think about it. Marcus May is actually kind of an older guy. Well, we made the trade. Screw it. We'll take Marcus May. If we have to start him, we have to start him. If we don't, we don't. Got safety depth out here, better than the damn Buccaneers in real life. This trade value was actually right on the nose. Pretty much. It was 1350.5 from us and 1350 on the dot from them. It is only 2 spots, but it is 11-9. Regardless, though, they get in a little bit of extra. We get to use some of the picks that we had extra from last year's trade downs. Everyone wins. Alex Smith, the left tackle, of course. Of course, Brian Stanton is going to be our guy. Please be good. And he's hitting 93 speed, 94 jumping on a 21-year-old 6'3 wide receiver. We got Corey Davis, but like as a rookie pretty much, and also faster. We traded our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks to trade up to 22 with the Cardinals to take a safety that we probably won't start this year, but has a ton of potential. And that safety is, where is he? James Howell. Zone coverage is bad, but everything else is a B. He's also pretty big at 6'2". He's 21 years old, insanely athletic. And, I mean, I just like what I see. So, James Howell is the pick. Oof. We traded 2 5ths and a 6 to get up to 97 with the Seahawks, which I think is going to be a DT. He's kind of raw looking, but he's got C's across the board, and he is insanely strong. Probably doesn't fit what this team wants, because this is a nose tackle, but I still just like him. So, I mean, we'll find a use for him somehow. And he's hidden. He's a beast. He's so big. 348, 96 strength. I love that these types of players are in the draft. I think we drafted one that was even bigger than him. We still have another 5th round pick, and we're going to be taking Brian Hooks, who's good in zone coverage, insanely athletic, could be a future. Another hidden development trade. I think Nizrilladine is going to be traded off. I was about to say it could be like a future starter or just, a backup, solid backup. Why not? And more hiddens in the later portions than in the earlier. Sweet. We traded literally the entire draft away for a normal safety, and then we land all of these talents. Undrafted projection, of course, really fast, but just after especially with Stanton, just don't need him. The Raiders and Browns are willing to give us a 4th round next year for the pick. I'm not going to deny it. You can have it. We ended up trading away that last 7th round pick. Now let's take a look at the draft recap. The safety, 76 overall. He's normal, but he's got potential. Hit power sucks. Block shedding's not bad. What was his catching? 65. He's pretty athletic at least, but yeah, he is pretty raw. But still, 76 overall. When you see normal, it's an L, but 76 overall is some redeeming factors. Stanton has, some decent rating. Spec catch, you would like to be a little higher, but he's definitely got jump ball capabilities. Number 16, though. Oof. I am not a fan of that at all. 27, not a fan of that either. 11, I suppose. Superstar, nice. I will say he was primed to be that. I honestly think, not that Garrett Wilson was bad, but the way the roster is right now that, I can't make Stanton the number 1 even though he's 6'3". I don't know. But 71 overall for Amari Griffin. He will definitely not start this year. I don't know if he'll ever start because, once again, really does not fit this scheme. But, once again, you could use him in, goal line situations in real life. So, it would be an okay pick, especially for a 4th rounder. 66 overall hidden, huh? Is that what we're doing out here? Once again, star dev, if that's what he is not a hard thing to get. So, you can almost consider him being hidden actually an L. And he is star. So, it's kind of like, is that really even a win when you get XP for going from normal to star? I don't know. Quarterback, 62 overall, and he is okay. He's okay. They offered us Jahan Dotson for Ashton Davis. What are they doing? And they did us a solid and already slapped him on the trade block, and we get nothing. All right, good trade. Ooh, this is a tough offer. Nizrilladine for Tyler Conklin, dude. I've heard good things about that guy. We trade Nizrilladine, a 5th round pick, and Uzama for Stapleton, a normal dev at 23 overall, or 23-year-old corner. He's on his 2nd or 3rd year. Pierre Strong and Ronnie Perkins. I really just wanted Stapleton, but they're broke, so, I didn't even realize that Kevin Leach guy had star, but he's trash, so I don't really care. All right, we have the roster for year 3 now. Can we maybe make the playoffs with this team? Zach Wilson's playing on the 5th-year option. Is he the answer long-term? I don't know. I don't know, because he's not really elevating the team, and the team around him now is actually really talented. You have an 88 overall wide receiver, 1. You have an 87 overall tight end. You have an 88 overall left tackle, an 84 overall right tackle. The interior is damn near an 80 across the board, and it will be very shortly. You have a really good running back. Stanton will be a superstar soon. He's already a superstar, but you know what I mean. Physically, Garrett Wilson had a decent season, but sadly he is kind of like the worst of the 3, if you will, long-term. Release sucks, but everything else is pretty damn good. And then, it's him. And then defensively, not a bad unit at all. You have an X-Factor DT now. Left end solid. Right end played well. DT's, he's not really playing well, but he is good. Corners developing. It's just, we just need more seasons. Jordan Brooks could be a huge addition this year, so we'll see. But, there's a lot of chances, a lot of hopes that we could maybe make the playoffs here. So who do we have to pay? Elijah Moore? Oh my god, the amount of money this guy's going to be freaking getting here, dude. Oh my lord. Is it going to be 20 per? He's having a little bit of a down year. I can't really tell. I'd say probably whatever he's asking for here is probably fair, right? 6-year deal worth 100? A 6-year deal worth 100 mil? Happy to resign. I love you. I love you, sir. Elijah Vera Tucker's low on the re-sign, but we're going to make it happen anyways. How much money do we got? Ooh, that's kind of low, of course. We don't have to pay Zach Wilson just yet, and he is already accounted for, if you will, because the option is pretty much what he's probably worth right now, so it's not like the craziest thing in the world, but we can give Elijah Vera Tucker like a 5-year 50 if he's down. That's it. Okay, I'm a little surprised because he was low interest. Obviously, Marcus May will be gone. Probably going to say DJ Reed's gone. He's not a bad player by any means. We just don't need him, especially after the trade we made for that corner using Nizra Ladin. DJ Reed, he wants a 3 or 17, which isn't bad. Let's see how good he actually is. He's an 82 overall, which is decent. That zone coverage is pretty filthy, though. That zone coverage is pretty filthy. I'd be willing to give him a 3 or 20 at best. That is literally it. I'm sorry, I can't convince you anymore. That's all I can do. And then Michael, that's the wrong guy. Michael Carter, I don't even remember him playing much for us. Has he even played, at all? We just don't use backups around here. And of course, as you know, the Javelin gets a 3 or 8. He's never leaving. But finally, a good season. A really good season. So good. I was going to say that we win the division. Oh, we did. We still did. Oh, we're absolutely clicking this. The first of many. This, normally it's first of many, whatever. And it's true, but we can't be bothered. But no, we legitimately, we're going to play it cool. And, we're going to just enjoy the ride, if you will. Let's take a look at the numbers for the offense. Zach Wilson, 4,882 yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 picks. He's not going above and beyond, but that is a good season. Breece Hall was a little bit, down from last year, but still a good season. Stanton, it was the number 2 and the number 3. He was the number 2 wide receiver, number 3 on the slot list. The most catches on the team. Elijah Moore did very well. Garrett Wilson was decent, and then Knox was pretty good for a tight end. O-line blocking was still awful. Jermaine Johnson with 18.5 sacks. We changed the defensive scheme to Cleveland. Carl Lawson with 12 sacks, 9.5 for Quinnen, 4 for John Franklin Myers. Interceptions were terrible, though. Kicking, really bad. We got to get a new kicker. Punting was decent. Kick return, punt return game was tame, but at least, it wasn't bad. Yearly awards, anything for the us. Not on MVP lists, but where are we for best QB? On the list, Stanton, Rookie of the Year, finally a deserved Rookie of the Year in fairness. Does that also mean he's an X factor now? That's kind of busted if so. 5th best quarterback, 4th best wide receiver for the rookie. O-line not on the list. D-line at number 4. I was going to say another one, but I guess not. Linebacker DB, obviously not there, and definitely not kicker. One of the worst in the league, let alone top 10, in either side. I actually want to see, was he actually the worst? We had the 3rd worst kicking performance in the league. Nice. But let's get in here. Maybe we have a chance to beat the Chargers. Please, maybe. 91 overall. We have shot up out of nowhere. Well, I wouldn't say out of nowhere, but this could be tough for them. A snowy game. I have actually not seen any snow footage in the game at all. I wonder if anyone's actually done a video on that. That could be kind of fun. Grease pigskin. Players have trouble holding on to the ball. Is that a new thing? Is that because of the snow, or is that actually their thingy? This could be interesting. Kind of want to see it. And really didn't go anywhere. Got smacked. Be cool to see players slip more often too, though. Well, let's go to the end of the game. See if we can win this game. 7-0 start. We hold them to 3. Driving down, we get 3 as well. They get a safety and then turn that into a field goal. So a 10-8 game. Looks like they got a touchdown and 2-point, but that is not how that happened. Our defense is doing well, and our offense is doing nothing. 11-10, and I think we've lost. We have lost the game 11-10. There is 0 chance that has ever happened. 11-10. We didn't score a single point in the second half. And honestly, I don't even know when in the second quarter we stopped scoring, but that was abysmal. We lost it. The Jimmy G. Oh my EA. EA, please. The team they're fielding isn't even a 10th of as good as ours. The kicker. What the damn kicker, dude? It was, in fairness, from 50+, and it may have been right at the end. Kicking a 50+ in the snow is tough alone, let alone a guy who's had a rough season, and it's right at the end in the clutch. There's just so much going against you there. The first of many. We did keep it cool. Maybe a little too cool. Tough break out there, but we knew that they're a tough... We really didn't, though. Dude, is that something we actually knew? But I suppose we only did lose by 1 to them. Watch, they're going to be in the Super Bowl. It is not. It is the Bengals for a chance to repeat. Go up against the Cowboys. I would have no happiness in whoever wins this. And the winner is the Bengals. It could have been worse if it was the Cowboys, I suppose. But let's take a look at our team. I don't know if we would have had any dev ups. Stanton did not go up in dev. Maybe it is limited to like star to superstar or normal to star. Because he did have Offensive Rookie of the Year, yet he didn't dev up. But still, great year, and he did go up quite a bit. He's now, what, an 83 overall? He's going to be at least. Brees is great. Zach Wilson's developing, but it's going to be halted soon because he's an old man. Quentin Williams did drop in dev, despite the fact that we have dev trait regression off. And he had a pretty good year for a guy that's not really necessarily like the greatest pass rusher. He's better at run defense than pass rushing. We're going to keep his dev up to X Factor. That is going to be such a problem in the online league. It's going to be so painful. Of course, Jermaine Johnson deserved the dev up. And apparently to EA, no one else did. Oh, Brooks actually deserved a dev down according to EA. I honestly don't know what to do for this stuff. I really don't. Because in one way, it's like, yeah, there probably should be dev downs because, if you have one really good year, you don't get to just stay great in Madden forever. Unless you're Tyler Eifert, of course. Shots fired, but actual facts, by the way. But Jordan Brooks had a really good... Oh, he actually did have a down year, but that's a one-time thing. He played for one time for us, Give him another year and then tell me if he's, bad. We gave DJ Reed a 1-year 8 in the end, and he actually accepted it, so we're cool with it. Don't need the backup running back, don't need the safeties, because realistically, we could probably put DJ Reed at free safety, and he'd be sick at it. We are also not going to be spending any money in free agency because we are going to be broke next year. We have to re-sign a ton of players, and we are going to have a bad time of it. I'm just going to be honest with you, but there are a lot of names here that are decent, but also a lot of names that don't really care about us. Ooh, Evan, they're not going to let him go, though. Why would they let go of Evan McPherson? Offered Harrison Butker a 2-year 10. I don't know if he's going to be willing to take that. Nobody wants him, so screw it. We got the new kicker, and it's kind of crazy to think, but legitimately, if you look at how last season ended, you could literally make the argument that if we had a guy like Harrison Butker, we may have actually won the playoff game and maybe went all the way to the Super Bowl, perhaps. We also have John Franklin Myers, who has been very bad for us, and it may be all attributed to the fact that he is playing DT, needing a contract. I think DT is our number one need for the drafts. And with that knowledge, we may even trade off John Franklin Myers for a decent second-round pick, perhaps. More fifth-year options, and we're absolutely going to need to sign some of these. Gardner, I think, no. Because he's a good player, but he hasn't really developed like that. So I think maybe 10 to 14 per would be good now. But if we waited another year, I don't know if that could be said the same. Garrett Wilson, another guy where I think he's also kind of in that 10 to 14 range. But for the final player, Mr. Hello? Is Jermaine Johnson did he not get a fifth-year option? Was he not a first-round player? Hello? The deal for Johnson includes a $6.7 million signing bonus and the standard fifth-year option for the Jets. Okay, I guess not an EA. I don't know what the hell the fifth-year option would be, though. What is that? Fifth-year option apparently is 11.5 mil, but I don't know how that works. But I think it says if they get a Pro Bowl, it's different. I'm going to give him 15 mil, whatever. I'm not paying him. I'm just not paying him right now. I'm sorry. We have pick 23. I have a couple of DTs, but I don't know which one I want the most. I have 3 decently high ones. That is Mr. Roth, who has, an A power move. But Holt, he's built a little bit more evenly. So 34.8 with 36 reps. And then Roth, who has, I can't remember, a little bit slower, a little bit weaker, but 6'2", 295. I get normal vibes from last year with that power move, though. I honestly think there's no clear-cut favorite for me that I'm just going to skip to our pick, and if he's gone, oh well. Roth is gone, so Holt is going to be our guy. I also have a quarterback. He's 2 to 3, but I will say, looks promising, and he is fast as hell, so I'm not saying Zach Wilson isn't the guy, but at the same time, if he's asking for too much and we can't afford him, it's nice to have a backup plan, isn't it? We're going to take the Texans trade of 36, 68, and 100 for pick 23, which I think is fine. They go with a left tackle. Best of luck to them. And we're going to be taking our guy, Julius Holt. Please Yes, hidden development trade. If he's 76 speed, 89 strength, I mean, I got to imagine Roth was extremely slow and obviously weaker. We trade 55 and 87 for 40. I'm not taking the chance. I'm going to go for this quarterback. I just don't know what Zach Wilson's going to want, and the way he's playing isn't spectacular. It's not spectacular. Whoa, who's this? Top 5 quarterback still there. Okay. Donnie McAllister, welcome to the squad. And of course, he's normal, dude. Thought that maybe was the case, but like, I mean, I can't guarantee that, right? Do we even have pick 4 anymore? Is that what we traded to get that trade there? It is not. Okay, fair enough. Could also go Bagley, but I think we lined up what we needed to at DT with the draft pick we had. Linebacker, on the other hand, though. How good is he? Deion Jefferson? I think this might be a trade down to grab maybe one of these DTs. Monroe looks pretty good. And, of course, Stockton, dude. Another tank. I can't take him, though. Even though he's 46 reps, which could be like 97, 98 strength, I can't do it. I just can't do it. We're going to make a trade down with the Browns this time, which I think was a trade up last time, right? That was a pretty good trade, though. We ended up getting pick 23, which he's a day 3, which could be anything. But I think he's got enough potential for me to actually just take him right here. I'm going to grab him. Greg Monroe, the center, of course. Not great because he's normal, but could be good. Bit of an iffy draft, though, not going to lie. And we have a bunch of draft picks. I'm going to actually grab a kicker in the 4th round. I know it's crazy to think, but he has an A awareness, A kick accuracy with great or elite kick power, elite strength, elite jumping, and he's decently fast. I think this guy could actually be solid. Oh, he is solid. Is this a generational player, actually? I don't think we've had a single generational player before. Did we get a generational kicker? I'm kind of interested about the other guy, but I don't think he was elite kick power, though. Yeah, see, this guy was an A accuracy, A awareness, but he was marginal kick power. So that's why I was thinking, like, if you have all these guys with A kick accuracies, and that guy's also A kick accuracy, but with elite kick power, he's got to be worth it then, right? Because, like, if you're an A kick accuracy, cool, but if everyone else is, like, a D, you know, then it's like, oh, well, then you're not actually that, are you? And Seattle's giving us a 4th round. Next year, we're going to take it. We have so many extra draft picks, we got to do something with them. And if honestly Stockton's there, I'm going to grab him. We don't need him. So many DTs, so unrealistic. I'm going to be freaking keeping it a stack, but he's too fun not to grab. And another hidden 99 strength. We landed another one. Even better than the last one we just got. I think we actually got a guy like literally exactly like that in one of our other rebuilds. I don't remember if we used him there either, to be honest. Oh, maybe it was the Lions, and we actually did use him, actually. How good. He's a 77 overall. So Holt was hidden development trade, thankfully. We actually didn't even trade John Franklin. Do we just let this guy develop because he's not that great and just let John Franklin Myers go to free agency? I think that would be a good call, to be honest. What is Dev, anyways? Superstar! I lied, of course. I meant we would start him right away. That kind of sucks, but we did already say we were going to not start him. Donnie McAllister, not bad, but of course normal, now that I'm remembering. Also, number 27 needs to go. Monroe, not bad actually, but once again, we don't need him. Then we have the kicker. I really want to see this kicker. I'm actually interested. Peter Strickland, 99 kick power, 84 accuracy. If he has like better than star, I'm going to call him generational. If not, then maybe he's not. Superstar, that's got to be generational. That has to be. Which I don't know what that means. Also, wow, okay. Like, generational, does that mean, like, you'll never see another one of those types of kickers in this entire rebuild? Like, if I were to go, like, 20-some more years? Or do they mean, like, every 10 years or so? For at least that position group? I don't know, but interesting there. And I guess we'll take a look at the DT we were aiming for, Roth. See how good he was. He went at 20, which was very close to where we were. Also hidden, 81 power move, 79 block shed, 88 strength, which is a little bit lower than ours. What was the speed, actually? I didn't even notice. Let's take a look at his dev. Only star, though, so we did take the dub for once. All right, it's year 4. This is what the team looks like. Zach Wilson having pretty decent season. Holy crap, I've been blinded. having pretty decent seasons, but of course still, progressing pretty slowly, even with 148 on the XP sliders. The running back's great. Wide receiver 1 will be like an 88 overall by the end of the season. Elijah Moore's already a 91. Dawson Knox at 89, and Garrett Wilson's an 86. Of course, O-line looks great. The interior is getting better and better each season. Defensively, D-line is solid, but Lawson may need to be replaced soon, whereas Tony Ross, I don't think can be that... Oh, my eyes. I don't think he can be that guy. He's already 24. By the time he would start, he'd be like 25, maybe 26, and we'd have to pay him. It's like, I don't know about that. Johnson, of course, we'd have to pay because we gave him that 15 mil tag, 5th-year option, because we had to do that manually. Hall, we have to pay, though. Howell's going to start for the first time in his career, and, I mean, it looks like a good team that could be good enough to make the Super Bowl, as I would say, I don't really want to go into it because it's kind of slow, but I'm going to take a quick look and see, but I think we're probably the highest overall team. Bears are an 88. Holy, free agency, in fairness. Forgot about that. Buccaneers are an 89, in fairness. The Colts are a 91. They signed Kyle Pitts. Probably landed like some quarterback like Herbert or something. I mean, there's a couple of 89 teams, but we are the better, like a top 3 team at minimum at least. All right, time to find out how broke we are. Breece Hall wants a 5-year 40? I think that's about fair, right? I'm going to give him a 6-year 55. That should be good. Happy to re-sign. Lovely stuff. Sauce Gardner, that could be a problem. Let's see it. 5-year 58. How about a 5-year 70? Is that fair? I mean, he's not like great, but he's good. Maybe a 5-year 80 would do it. Garrett Wilson. He wants pretty much under 10 per, which, to be fair, he hasn't played like super well, but I'm going to give him a 4-year 40 if he's down and he's happy. Sweet. Finally, somebody that's cool. Not that John Franklin Myers isn't decent, but I'm going to let him go. 3-year 70 for Zach Wilson. Honestly, the direction of the team, which is so good, and how he's playing, I kind of feel like that's fair, right? Like, he isn't crazy elite, but that's good money, and I like the years as well. If he's interested, I'm doing a 3-year 72. I don't want to do more years. I don't want to do more money. I'm happy with that. I'm content. DJ Reed, I think his time has come with the team. Same with Ashton Davis. And then a lot of the other guys are backups, but maybe we'll keep someone. We gave him a 5-year 80, like we said, which at star is maybe a little iffy, but the years, I mean, the money's all right. Head to the playoffs. I think we're going to be in it, but I'm not sure if we're going to win the division. And we do. We win, and the Patriots win. We get the division, no bye week or anything like that. A little bit worse of a season, but overall, still a dub because we're back-to-back playoff contenders as the Jets. And Zach Wilson had a year. Breece Hall had a year. Stanton had a year. Wilson had a year. Elijah Moore, Knox, all of them playing really well. O-line still as bad as usual. Sack totals. Johnson, that's okay. 11.5. That's pretty good. Carl Lawson, best season for us as well. John Franklin Myers at 8.5. Williams at 7.5. Of course, John Franklin Myers finally wakes up as we're not getting him a contract. That's like literally, it happens every time. I don't understand how, but the kicker punter, much better situation. The punter did really well compared to normal years. Brandon Mann was a little iffy for most years for us, but MVP not going to Zach Wilson after that year. 5th. He gave up like no turn. He like turned the ball over like barely any times. Still a Pro Bowl quarterback. And look at Elijah Vera Tucker, best O-line award. That's a win. Is that a dev up? How does that work? Do you get it for all awards? Is it a dev up for all awards? I don't know, but 6 overalls on them. They have Aaron Jones apparently. I'm trying to think of like Aaron Jones is 8. It's not that far down, especially since he's an X Factor. He should be clearly fine. Ooh, look at the game. Got to get my playoff fix out in these rebuilds because we sure as hell aren't going to see them often in our franchise series. I'll tell you what. Even our Vikings online, I worry, dude. It's a tough year for Madden, it feels. It's hard to play. 24-3. Not a bad start. 31-3. 38-3. 38-10. And wow, this Jets team really came to play. Although kind of choked the score near the end there. But a massive win over the Denver Broncos. taking away another season of Russell Wilson's chances to get another Super Bowl. He got smoked. A 38% completion percentage. Breece Hall was... can't tell if he was actually good. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say he was good, but we'll take the big run anyways. Dawson Knox, huge game. Stanton was decent too. Sack totals 3 for Jermaine Johnson, 1.5 for John Franklin Myers, half for Williams. Kicking. Come on! Can we get one kicker to play well? Oh my, the generational kicker needs to come in. But we got a playoff win. That is a massive improvements. Cincinnati winning multiple Super Bowls. See them do it again. They're way worse overall than us, but I can't wait. I'm stoked. All right, here it is. Can we stop the Bengals' tear? 10-0. Looking decent. 13-0. We probably should have a touchdown there because just like that, it's only 6. Oh, now it's not the... Hey, it's going fast. Huge rushing touchdown. Why are we down so many extra points? Not that it's going to matter, as we're going to win another dominating performance, 36-14, which, like our 11-10 loss, may have never happened before. 36 is a pretty odd score, isn't it? Especially with them only scoring 14. Typically, if you're going to score something in the 30s, you would think the other team is going to be kind of closer than 14. So, I don't know. But, wow, both of our running backs were better than Joe Mixon. That's pretty cool. Stanton with a huge game. Sack totals. Jesus, wrong thing. What's his name? I thought it was Peter Film. I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Several interceptions. They had one with Warwick, but at least Butker kicked better today. That's really all I could ask for. Look at that upgrade. That is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. Didn't he start at 93 speed? I literally thought I heard that the athleticism upgrades were capped, but I guess not. And here we are going against that very high overall Colts team. They are a 93. We are a 93. This could be it. But to be honest with you, knowing our luck, we'll probably win and then lose to some super inferior team in the Super Bowl. 7-6, 14-6. Looking pretty good. Come on. We'll take the field goal. I wish it was a touchdown, but we'll take it. 24-6, 31-6, 31-13, 34-13, 41-13, 48-13. We win the game 48-16. We are smoking teams. Of all the teams to put up 48, though, the Colts. So their quarterback, Isaiah Coleman, I have no idea who that is, but he didn't really look that great. Jonathan Taylor is obviously great. Receiving Kyle Pitts is obviously great. Mike Williams is solid, but he might be a bit old at this point. Pittman, I don't know what his ratings are, but he's not super athletic, though. Sack totals, DeForest Buckner, I don't know who that is. I mean, I'm not really sure how this team's such a high overall. That quarterback's like an X factor. He's like a 99 overall already, but I don't get it. I do want to take a look at the Colts roster, but I first want to get to the Super Bowl to see the Cowboys. Oh no, it's got to be a super high overall team too. 88, not as high as I would have thought, but still, let's take a look at that Colts team. The quarterback is a superstar. In fairness, he is 89 overall. He's also similar to Zach Wilson. Taylor's obviously a 99, 92, 90. Tight end's a 99. Left tackle's an 85 probably. Quentin Nelson 99. Center's about an 85. Right guard's about an 87. 94 for the right tackle. 81 left end, 81 right end. DT's a really high overall. Left out's really high. Middle linebacker's okay. Right out is okay, but he's getting better. Corners are decently solid. I mean, I guess it's... I still think we have the better team, though, which, I mean, I suppose kind of proved that with the massive win. Will AVT go up in dev? He did. So that exists. Of course, the great thing that also exists is the regression. Love that. That's super fun. Breece Hall having a pretty damn good season. 4.6 yards per carry. A lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. Drops in dev. Lovely. Zach Wilson also went to Superstar, but he actually is only an 85 overall, which is terrible. Elijah Moore dropped in dev, which I think is super unrealistic because he's young and he still had another 1,000-plus yard season. I don't know why he would drop in dev. He hasn't deserved to drop rather than at least stay similar. And then defensively, any dev downs? Another Jordan Brooks dev down. Was he at least bad? If he was at least bad this year, I'll accept it. I'm not sure what they consider to be bad, to be honest. I don't understand. 123 tackles, 2 interceptions, a couple of tackles for a lot. I don't understand, like, if he was a superstar with those other numbers, why is he dropped there? I don't understand. I once again have the dev regression turned off, yet it's still doing this. It's pissing me off. Look, it's literally off. And then it says desired X Factor players. I turn it off, and it just turns itself back on with this crap somehow. I don't understand. Like, why does it do that? Oh, well, let's go against these Cowboys, see if we win. I mean, honestly, is there even a chance to win it if it's not this year? But here it is, end of the game. I think right to left is us, and it is. Damn it, dude. 2 really crap drives. Thankfully, we stopped them as it's 7-all. They get a huge touchdown, though. We bounce back with nothing. How many turnovers do we have this game? It seems like we turned the ball over like 50 times. 17-14. Oh, my God. Is that another turnover? 3 minutes left, and we're up by 4. Another turnover from them, though. I think we're going to win. Maybe. I don't know. Did they get the stop? They didn't. We win another Super Bowl. 3 successful rebuilds with Super Bowls. Now, I get on paper, you know, the Jets, Lions, and Jags in real life, you're kind of thinking, okay, those are bad teams. But I suppose in Madden, they're not the worst. Like with the Jaguars, you have literally an instant 99 overall quarterback because he's a superstar. The Lions, when you get a bad draft pick out the gate, you draft a QB. And with guys like Jameson Williams, Aiden Hutchinson, a really solid O-line, Hawkinson, it's not the toughest to develop. The Jets, really, I mean, they have so many young star dev players. It's unbelievable. I'm not really sure what team would give us the most troubles. Maybe like the Patriots, because you have to deal with, Mac Jones being like iffy-ish. The Vikings, speaking of a team, might be decently tough because Kirk Cousins isn't really the long-term option, and their team is probably too good, if healthy, to do really bad to get a top 5 pick for a quarterback. So, I mean, I don't know. It seems... I'm really trying to think of, like, the Texans maybe would be a really tough one, but they have draft picks, and they've got a couple of young guys. But the Jets, I would consider in Madden not to be even close to the toughest rebuild team. But here we are, finally winning in year 4. So, I mean, it wasn't easy per se, but, you know, it wasn't the worst in the world. It was about average, I'll say. Really good sack numbers for these guys. If Jeromepkr missed the kick, I delete the roster right now. Oh my God, I'm not going to do that actually, but I wanted to. Have we done, I mean, we've only done 3 rebuilds, so I should, okay, I guess we're in the main menu. I should really remember, but is year 4 the earliest we've won the Super Bowl? I'm trying to remember. Did we have a year 3 and we called it there because we're like, oh, what's the chance to win another one? I don't know. Obviously, there's going to be teams that we will get them done in 3 years or less, and then we'll probably end up doing, the dynasty attempt where we win another one within 2 years after. But this one is not one of those because this would be like a 6-year rebuild, and that would be a long video. Regardless, though, let us take a look at the development of the players we had. Brian Stanton, super beastly, literally pretty much like Julio Jones, built pretty similarly. Of course, we'll take a look at Breece Hall, who's got to be a god by this point, I'd imagine. Trucking stiff arm's a little iffy, but he is very athletic, obviously. Let's take a look at Mr. Zach Wilson, of course, only an 85 overall, and he's already 26, but he finally got to superstar at least. Throw power is absolutely insane, 97. Let's take a look at the wide receiver Elijah Moore. 94 overall, which is kind of crazy. Release sucks, but everything else is pretty damn good. Let's take a look at the other wide receiver, Mr. Garrett Wilson, who is, once again, very, very good as well. Just the release. I don't know what upgrades release is a deep threat, but it is a little weird that, their route running's great in, like, all the categories. It's just their release sucks. I don't know. But, of course, really good player in Dawson Knox. Never got an athleticism upgrade, it seems. But Mekhi Becton, 92 overall. Probably not going to be great in the finesse. Not great in pass block finesse. But every other rating's pretty damn good, actually. I'm a little surprised by that. Usually it's the finesse in general that sucks for him. But Elijah Vera Tucker got to superstar because of the award win. And he is a terrible pass blocker outside of power, which I suppose power is what he does because he's an interior guy. Don't really care about the other linemen too much. What else do we have? Don't care about these guys too much. Sauce, we'll obviously take a look at. 90 overall, better man than zone. Great press, solid athleticism. Really solid corner at this point. Still star dev, though, which is a little sucky. What about Bryce Hall? 87 overall. Built the same? Built the same. A little bit better in zone coverage comparing to his man coverage, but very similar, just a little bit slower. And then what else do we have? Williams, I suppose we'll take a look at, and then we'll look at Johnson and then call it. So 97 block shed, 87 power move. Not bad at all from Williams. Actual tank. And then, like we said, with Mr. Jermaine Johnson, 91 overall, X Factor, very solid player. Turned out to be the best of the class by, I wouldn't say a good margin, but a decent margin, I suppose. And even though we didn't get to use him, how many upgrades did the Superstar kicker get? 87 accuracy with the 99 kick power. It's pretty clutch, actually, but that's going to be it for our New York Jets realistic rebuild on Madden 23. Whew, 22. A little late for that, buddy. But if you guys have a team you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK plays for non-Madden stuff. Twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams, which I'm starting to kind of think if I'm going to stream again, I might do just non-Madden. I just don't think Madden is a streamable game if you don't play MUT. It really just doesn't seem like one. But we'll see, of course. And then, obviously, if you're new to the channel, maybe leave a subscribe. Maybe hit the notification bell. If you like the video, maybe leave a like. And if you're not new, I absolutely appreciate your continued support a ton. And we will be back with Seahawks franchise tomorrow as the standalone video, I would imagine. And then, probably Face of the Franchise on Tuesday with some sort of experiment video. Tons of content constantly being uploaded. The only time I'll probably have, like, a break day is probably once the NFL season actually kicks off. Maybe Sunday will be either an early upload or just no upload on Sunday, but that's a bit from now. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!